welcome to another episode of Yarn and Shenanigans with Amy and Kristin. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Happy Solstice,
Happy Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us.
There were some airing of grievances this year, for sure. So yeah, here we are. This is the last of 2021.
Thank you.
What a freaking
Can
year.
only go up, please God.
I don't think so. I don't know what next year.
Oh.
I keep reading this thing on the internet that says don't say that 2022 is going to be like the your year, because clearly we all said that in 2021 and it just tanked. Yeah, so Tom and I ended up, we were going to record last week, you guys, but Tom and I have ended up with some sort of just random virus. You know, it was awful for me last week. Tom made it 2 days without getting any sickness. We had 2 good days in our house, and then he started coughing, and now he's sick. So we're back at Kristin's house. We were going to be at my house because it is Christmas extravaganza.
Yes.
But yeah, here we are. It's probably for Kristin's health. I'm clearly okay. Tom is not, and we had Christmas Eve, we had friends over, and we gave everyone the warning, like, listen, it's not COVID. We've been tested twice, each of us, but you should know you may come out of this with a cold.
Right.
So, yeah, we were half in mask, half, it was different. So, and then yesterday we just sat around and watched Doctor Who all day.
There you go.
So yeah. I'm also going to talk about our new Yarn and Shenanigans
co-host.
That's right. He is our co-host.
He's our new co-host.
Kristin and I thought that we needed a more fun way to display knitted projects. So
let me tell you. And we are both nerds.
Yes.
Proudly so.
Proudly. I was going to get married on the bridge of the Star Trek Enterprise, but that fell through.
So, Mr. Data, Lieutenant Data, has come to join us. He will be our new co-host, showing off our knitted things. And
I forgot to poke a hole. Don't anyone look at that. I'll put my hand like I'm holding his arm. Like, keep me safe. Yeah, Mr. Data, he's going to be taking care of us.
He is. He's going to be our model.
Yeah. Proudly displaying our knitted projects.
So talk about the knitted project that Commander Lieutenant Data is.
So this is Cowboys and Angels. I actually knitted this after stitches 2 years ago when they had stitches. The yarn is, I'm reading this off my phone, you guys. I'm sorry. I was not prepared for today. The yarn is Crazy Colorworks hand-dyed Superwash Merino DK. This took about 2.5 skeins of this beautiful coordinating with my shirt. I have a theme going on today, you guys.
I didn't get the memo, obviously.
I'm sorry, Kristin. We're a little off kilter because it's currently the day after Christmas. Kristin has her air conditioner on and is in shorts. Mm-hmm. I'm wearing flip-flops because it is 76 degrees.
Yes.
And amazing outside.
It's gorgeous. Open, absolutely gorgeous.
It's amazing. So yes, he's probably a little toasty, but yeah, I love this pattern. This is
beautiful.
It's a really fun knit. It has the thing that I despise most, which are bubbles, but just enough of them so you gotta poke them through. But yeah, I love this yarn. This is a vendor we found at Stitches. I'd never knit with them, and their yarn is so like you can see the different kind of.
It's a beautiful tunnel.
So, yeah, I really like this.
It's a gorgeous color and a very pretty knit.
Yeah.
Really enjoy that.
Yeah. What have you got for us, Kristin?
Well, I have... It's really huge.
It is huge. Hold on, let's open it up.
Let's open it up.
There we
go. This is the Crown Wools by Casapinka.
It's so pretty!
It is.
Oh, I think I twisted it. Wait. Wait. This way?
Oh, that way.
Okay, this way.
So this is the Crown Wools by Casapinka, and it is done with a gradient set by Sweet Georgia. The Sweet Georgia gradient is no longer available because it was meant for a different pattern. I ended up
This is
getting 2 of the
beautiful.
gradients so that I'd have enough yarn, and then stretched a little bit. And I really love doing this pattern. I absolutely adored this gradient.
This
is one of my most favorite gradients that I've ever worked with.
This is beautiful. This actually inspired me to get my butt in gear and knit a Casapinka pattern. You know, I will just say, I just love her patterns just because, like, you get done with this section and it's time to move on. It's like motivation. Like,
it is.
I couldn't knit a whole shawl of this pattern, but like, I just love it. I just love her.
It came out incredibly beautiful, and the gradient.
The yarn is.
What I was really looking for, I was looking for something to go with this gradient because I just absolutely fell in love with it. So I think it turned out really beautifully, and it's one of my favorites. But you know, it happened during right around, I think, right at the beginning of COVID. I finished it like at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, and have had a chance to wear it. So I keep hoping one of these days I'll be able to wear pretty things again.
Kristin, just put that on with your pajamas. That's too pretty. We started the Sharon show right after that, didn't we? Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
We should do another Casapinka knit along.
Yes. They're a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. And I just finished a Casapinka that we'll talk about in just a second.
Oh.
So I've done several of her patterns and have enjoyed all of them.
Yeah, I like her snark and her sass, and she just makes knitting them fun.
And Sharon from Security is once again in Facebook jail.
Is she?
Yeah, it's her second time in Facebook jail.
Facebook.
So Sharon from Security is Casapinka's cat. And she's a
troublemaker.
She's a troublemaker. She's in Facebook jail for the second time, so it's pretty hysterical. So she's a fun one to follow, and her pattern's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the shawls that we have brought that we finished up in previous times. And let's any life updates other than Christmas. Christmas was great. You had your Ill Fest on Christmas Eve,
and
watched Doctor Who.
Didn't knit for like forever, and you guys know I was trying to motivate myself to get back into the socks, and one heel took me 2 weeks, and I was just like, why am I doing this to myself? That's how bad I felt. You know, it's bad when I don't feel like knitting, because if I'm laying in bed, I usually have something going on, like I'm reading or knitting. I didn't do it. I slept all day last Saturday. I slept most of the day Sunday. I got up for a football game, and I think I went outside. I feel like I went outside. Oh, I did go outside because my friend Kim went to Disney World, and I went and fed her cat for the day. And then in my pajamas, I looked rough. She was on her Ring doorbell like Amy, and I'm like, it was awful. So then I came back home and went back to bed. And then I had to go back to work on Monday after my fever subsided, and then Tom got sick, so now we're
Well, I finally had a week of holiday, although my husband was on call, and because of his job, and he was on call through holiday and stuff going on at work, he was working mad hours all week long. So he finally, Christmas Day was the first day that he wasn't working mad hours. Even Christmas Eve, he was working mad hours. The last 2 days we've sat around and done absolutely nothing, which is fine. Yeah. But I go back to work on Monday, which is kind of a bummer because everyone else in my group is not working for another week. But I have to go back. I think it's not fair. But I did want to show off one thing that I did get. So my husband, for Christmas, got me this beautiful bracelet. It's a hand-beaded bracelet made by our friend, the artist, Wendy Seward. And she's at wendyseward.com, and I'll put that up. And she does all sorts of hand beadings of, she calls it intuitive beadwork, where she does all of these very artistic necklaces and earrings. She does masks for wall hangings that are absolutely amazingly and gorgeous. And of course, bracelets. So he had this made for me. So I completely enjoy it and think it's absolutely gorgeous and very happy with it. So I wanted to show off. It reminds me, when I was growing up, my dad was the pastor So we would open Christmas presents Christmas morning, and then we'd of course have to go to church, because you go to church about 27 times around Christmas time, right? And you have to go to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So the tradition in our house was you would wear whatever you got for Christmas to the Christmas service.
Oh.
Doesn't matter if it matched. Doesn't matter if it had anything to do with anything else. We were these hodgepodges of clothing, because you had to wear whatever you got, socks, underwear, skirts, doesn't matter. It all got worn.
That's awesome.
To Christmas. It was just the way it was. So I am now wearing my Christmas bracelet to my next event. This is our tradition.
Nice. That's such a fun tradition, though.
Yeah.
Like the underwear, especially. You're like, oh no, I gotta put on the new
Clean
underwear.
Got it.
Yeah.
The one time I'll never forget. So I had knee surgery, and I had it like right before Christmas, and I came home Christmas morning. My parents went and got me from the hospital Christmas morning to bring me home, and and I had it was a knee operation, had a full leg cast on, and my mom said, you don't have to go to church, you stay on the couch at home. So she goes off. She plays the organ. My dad is the pastor, so they're there early. My sister comes in. She says, we're going to church, and I said, no, we're not. Mom said I didn't have to. Well, of course you're going to church. We always go to church. Come on, let's go. So she made me get dressed, and here I am hobbling with this new cast into the church. She didn't at least make me stand up, because at church is to stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, I didn't have to do that because with the full length cast and in pews, it's really hard. So I had my leg up on the bench. But yes, she made sure that I went to church. We're going. It doesn't matter that you just got home out of the hospital. Go to church. So there you go. That's our Christmas tradition.
Uh-huh.
So I had a week off. Start work again next week. Life goes on.
It's our crazy week at work in accounting. So
I'm sure end of year.
I've been we have so this week we had a 3 and a half day work week. Next week we have a 3.5 day work week, and then the week after that is my birthday, so I took off 2 days. I took off Friday and Monday, right. So I have 2 more 3-day weekends. And I'm just I'm gonna be working till 8 o'clock this week.
You are.
It'll be rough.
You are. This is end of the year for
I love my job. Yeah, I love my job, but this is the week where I'm
not your favorite week of the year.
It's not my favorite week. Everyone's taking off at work. They're very liberal about our take off.
Right.
And I was I think I'm gonna take off the first week of the year because it's my birthday. And then my boss was you sure you want to do that? And I was you're right. I want to do that. I'd come back and be awful. So yeah, I have 4 3-day weekends.
Well, that's
here,
not bad.
Which is good, but yeah, I miss that. I never take off for my birthday because, especially this year, it's Wednesday, so it's
right.
And it's the 5th. It's literally the worst accounting day to take off in a month. It's the worst. So the 5th and the 15th.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
And of course, I got married on the 14th. So that's great.
Planned that well.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at finished objects.
Oh, well,
Bring
you
it out,
guys. I actually finished my socks because I did nothing but knit yesterday. I'm so excited. I'm back on my sock mojo.
Yes.
Because I got so much sock yarn.
Which we'll find out very soon.
Yeah. We will. So I just got this. This yarn is by the Nomadic Yarn. It is the Nice List. And I like this color, one, because it has the pink in it. This pink is just a Madeline Tosh pink, but it really worked out well with the pink in the pattern.
It looks really good.
But I like this because it's a Christmas color that's not quite super Christmassy. Which I enjoy, especially because it's got that pink in it, and that's in a Christmas colorway. It's a little hard to find. Her yarn is amazing, and I love her as a yarn dyer. So you just got to plan ahead.
And the pattern?
I actually kind of made this pattern up. It's very appropriate for today that this is my Christmas socks, but it's got yarn overs and eyelets in it because we need air conditioning in December. So this is just like a knit 2 yarn over. So like I knitted 3, knit 2 yarn over the whole way around, and I just alternated where I started the, like I'd knit 2 and then do a yarn over and then go in the pattern. Kind of self-made just with my regular vanilla sock and an afterthought heel. You can see back there. And yes, I know, tiny feet. They are little. That's why I love sock knitting, because I also have a whole half a skein left for another project, you guys. So there they are.
Both of them.
Look, and you guys, look, you don't see any ends.
She tucked them in very well.
I tucked them in very well, but I did weave them in. I just haven't cut my tails yet. So listen. Baby steps for improvement. But yeah, they're so cute.
They are.
I
They're
know,
very
like,
nice.
It's too hot for them today. It's crazy. What about you? Kristin's got a bunch.
Okay, so at this point we're going to put up some pictures.
Oh.
My niece has opened her Christmas present. So at this point we'll put up pictures of my niece showing off the sweater that I made her. We saw that once before, but we're going to have her model it at this point. She said she really enjoys it, and she really likes how it looks with her hair because she has red hair. So she was very happy with that.
That's awesome.
Yes,
it's
very happy about that.
Beautifully knit, and it was a beautiful sweater.
So, and then my sister has not quite gotten her Afghan, but it is finished, was mailed, was supposed to get there on time, but didn't happen. Should be getting there hopefully pretty soon.
Kristin, can we just talk about how you knitted that in like, how long?
I don't know.
It seemed like you were like, I'm not going to get this done. And all of a sudden it was like, I've got strike 22 and 23 done. And I was just like, what happened? Yesterday it was like you were on 9. Like, you guys, it's so pretty. It's so pretty.
So she doesn't, so I couldn't get pictures of it in her house, but I do have a couple pictures I took on my couch and in my house. So you'll have a general idea of what it looks like. Beautiful. It's huge because I did the sofa. This is once again the Casapinka Glamping blanket.
Such a pretty pattern.
It is made out of vintage.
Plymouth.
Thank you. Plymouth vintage chunky. And these are the colors that go with the rug in our house. So that's how those colors got chosen. As a friend of mine who I showed this to said, yeah, I wouldn't have chosen those colors either. I said, yeah, me either. But they go with her rug and she likes them. So
overall it looked very pretty though.
Right, it did.
It went, those were not colors that I would have like gone, let me put those together, but it went together.
Yep.
So,
this is why I'm not a designer, because I have a very limited palette. It did go together. I think it looks fine. Mm-hmm. She seems to like it. So, I'm just going to put up the pictures now and say we're done. But so I did get it done, and it did get mailed. Just missed for being on time by a little bit. And I finished all my mini hats. I'm so excited. So some of these you've already seen.
This Joy one, my favorite.
We have the Joy one.
Oh my gosh.
I am horrible at color work, so
this is perfect. Look at that. It looks great, Kristin.
So we have the Joy one, and then I got done the slouchy one.
So cute.
I love the slouchy one.
Is that like pinned to the?
Yeah,
I like that.
Otherwise, it would just kind of stick up
straight.
So it calls for you to sew it down. So there's the slouchy one. I can't remember what other ones I didn't show before, but then we have this one.
Look at your little cables.
They're faux cables.
Oh, look at your faux cables.
And we have that one, and I'm sure I've shown you these before.
That was your first one, right?
That was my first one, and that was my second one.
Oh, they're so cute.
So I'll take a picture here of all of them together. You can see them all laid out. And so I've got, that's one of each of the patterns done.
That's awesome.
So now the thing is making repeats. I need to get a bit more yarn. And hopefully what I'm gonna look for some minis and what have you. She also has the pattern is Hat Bent 2021 by Jody Brown. She also has Hat Bent 2020 and 2019.
Okay.
So she has 2 other years. So I'm considering also getting those patterns and making those throughout the year. And of course now it's, just after Christmas, I have an entire year and I have grandiose plans of all of these hats that I'm going to make. And by December 1st of next year, I'll have 2 more made. But, right now I have grandiose plans of all these fabulous hats that I'm going to make. But it's going to be my kind of, they take like an evening to make. So it's going to be sort of the palette cleanser between big projects. That's kind of my plan.
That's awesome. They're so cute. I really want to do some. I'm glad I didn't commit to it as sick as I got, because I was like, I would not have been. I would have had one hat done. It would have been sad. So,
but they're a lot of fun. They're very easy, and you can. It uses different techniques. This I found to be the most fussy one to do, because you have to, she says, carry up the strand, so you're carrying all of these colors as you do each. And I did these all in DPNs except for the Joy hat. I did that on Magic Loop because I suck at DPNs and I suck at color work, and I decided to only suck at one thing at a time. So we did Magic Loop, so I only sucked at color work. So we had to cut down on the number of things that I suck at one time. The challenges, I can only do so much. But so those are my finished projects, and now we're on to whips.
Well, I have one, because Kristin finished all of her Christmas knitting. She sent me a message and said we should start on her sweater. So yesterday, after I finished my socks, I started on the front of my garnered sweater.
Yes.
And you'll notice my color theme is clearly orange today.
Let me tell you, you are just
I don't know what's happening. I was in the zone. So there is, I'm like at the armpits already.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about this. Yes.
I haven't picked mine back up, but I have to pick mine back up. I was doing Netflix knitting, and this wasn't going to be Netflix knitting.
Oh, this is totally Doctor Who knitting for me.
Was it?
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with that. So
I could probably do it, but I picked up something else to make my husband happy. We'll show it in a minute.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about getting this done.
Yeah.
I bought tops to go underneath it.
Really?
Already, because I'm like, wear that with
so we're going to have this done by the next time?
High possibility.
Challenge. There's some big talk going on here.
Yeah, I think I can do it. I'm motivated. Yes. I'm motivated, you guys. I've got my knitting motivation back.
You're gonna push me to get it going, aren't you?
Well, I mean, you're gonna finish it like 3 days earlier. You'll send me texts. I'm at the neck. I'm like, whatever.
All right, so I have one whip. This is an old whip. This is an old whip, and I have picked it back up to make my husband happy. This is a spousal request.
Oh, you're going to need my hands for
you
this.
Are.
Oh.
So this is called Mogul by A Rogue Design.
Let's see if you can see that on the... Yeah, there we go.
And this is that you can't see the red very well. It's a rich. Yeah, there we go.
Very
maraschino
cherry red.
You can see the red better here.
Yeah.
But to hold it up, you can't see it so well. But it's called Moguls, and so the story behind this is several years ago.
So snuggly, you guys.
It is. Oh, and this is made out of Cascade yarn, specific bulky, on 17-inch vampire killers. So
I see what you call them. That's funny. I just got that. I was like, what? Oh, a blonde is showing today. I'm sorry.
I'm well protected when I get this. So several years ago, I made one of these, and we bought a new couch. I wanted to, I was like, oh, I should get something to put on my couch. It's like, you knit. Make something yourself. So long story short, made one of these, and I wanted to make it narrow enough so that if you lay on the couch or we sit in our Archie and Edith bunker chairs, we don't have this huge monstrous blanket flying all over. It just kind of fits over your body, right? Yeah. Well, then my husband tried it out, and he's like, it's not wide enough. I said, well, I didn't want it too wide. He says, it needs to be wider. And I said, oh, you're going to make it? He's like, no, you need to make a second one and then sew them together. So now I'm making the second one to sew it to with the first one. And it's, we're probably maybe halfway, maybe, not quite, maybe. So it's been a whip for a few years now, and it's really heavy and really hot.
It's very heavy and hot.
And I'm a woman of a certain age. And let me tell you, knitting hot, heavy things is not the easiest thing. So I usually put it off until wintertime to work on this. But I need to finish this up this winter. So this is one of the whips that I need to get done this winter. So that was what I picked up after I got done with my other Christmas knits, and my other whip did not work, which we're going to talk about in a second. So this is the thing I'm working on.
I just love the flowy like cables in this.
Yes.
Like, I love it.
Well, the software that we got had a design on it, so I didn't want something that would fight against the design, but I also didn't want just stockinette. Right. I wanted something, and this felt graphic enough but simple enough that it wasn't going to fight the couch.
No, it's
so
great.
Once we get it all put together, we'll take pictures. And this has got to get done. It is so huge. And the yarn is everywhere because I've got tons of it. It's just kind of like the never-ending project. So that one actually we did, my husband and I's idea of a hot date night is Netflix watching, and since he was on call and literally couldn't leave the house, lots of Netflix and Amazon Prime got watched.
That's why we have it. So
yeah, pretty much. So then the whip that didn't happen. I'm going to go through a saga with you very quickly. So I needed a knit in public project. This thing is huge, hard to take anywhere. All my other whips, I have to look at charts or I have to pay attention. It's not a knitting group thing. And I had some knitting groups coming up. So I wanted to find something that I could knit in public. And this was in my Ravelry. It's called Tea House. I'll put a picture of it up here. And it is by Sierra Crayon, all knit up designs. And it's a very simple crescent garter stitch knit. And I thought, I can do this. I really like the look of it, but it's really, simple and plain, but I liked how it looked. So I thought, let me do that. So I went yarn shopping in my stash, right? So let me go find something great. And I love this.
Oh.
This is Mountain Colors, and it is the Tanglefoot base, and it's called Springberry.
It's so pretty.
And Mountain Colors is one of my most favorite yarns ever. So I love that. Let's do something with that. And then I found this, and I thought, that looks perfect together, right? And this is the monochrome fingering by Earth yarns. So I thought that would be great. And this has got some tonal in it. It'll be really pretty. So I knitted, I don't know, a couple hours on it, got a little ways into it. And I think I have a picture which I'll put up here. And I looked at it and I said, not enough contrast. The colors look great here, but when you knitted them in that pattern, there wasn't enough contrast. And one of the reasons I kept looking at the pattern going, but I like that, I don't like this. And I thought, I need more contrast. So I still liked this. So I was thinking, and here I am laying in bed, insomnia, same old, same old. And I was like, I think I've got some dark purple fingering. I think I saw that. And I was this close to getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go hit my stash, except my stash is in front of a bunch of windows, and I was not prepared to be in front of windows at that moment at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I stayed in bed with my insomnia. Next morning, got up, there it is, found it, it's perfect. Now what the pattern calls for is 800 yards of main color, 400 of contrasting. Fingering comes in 400+ yards a skein, right? That's kind of the norm. So I'm like, I've got this skein, it'll work perfect. So I get this skein out, it's great. I skein it up and I go, that's really small. That doesn't look like 400 yards. What in the world did I do? It's Cascade yarns, Cascade 220 fingering, but there's only 273 yards of it. Only had one skein, so not happy. Bought this on sale, so you only get what you have, and I only have one. So I'm like, okay, I need some yarn. This is like Thursday. right? Christmas Eve. And
You're not gonna find any yarn.
well, so I go, we had a knitting group that day, went, and I was, when you want the yarn and you can't stop yourself, right? So I went to a yarn shop and I was like, I need to look at your fingering. What do you have? And of course they were half out of everything. It's Christmas Eve. This is any yarn store out there is going to be out of most everything, right? But I found some and it was gorgeous. And it was $400. Well, it's actually $300 and some. I ended up getting 2 skeins, but it's gorgeous. And it feels so nice. And I look at it and I go, oh, this is yak, 50% Tibetan yak down, 50% wool.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a good price. Like,
it's not bad, but it's still more than I was planning on.
Yeah,
thought about it, thought, I'm gonna get it anyway, don't care. Because I thought, oh, look, there's a lot of contrast here. So I'm gonna get this. This is gonna look great, right? So I get this, take it home, skein it up, spend the evening, hour and a half, knitting it up. And I think I have a picture I'll put up here. Still didn't like it. And I'm learning, and previously I would have said, just keep going, it'll be fine. You've gotten this far, you've spent the money, you like the yarns. But I'm learning just because they look good here doesn't necessarily mean they look good in the pattern. And I just didn't want to settle. Didn't want to.
Sometimes yarn doesn't want to be what you want
Exactly.
it to be. Exactly. I've run into that problem sometimes where it's like, these colors should go together, they look good together, but it's just not, it doesn't want to be that.
But it's not just the colors, it's those colors with the pattern.
Yeah.
And I really love that tea house way it looks. So I went back looking in my stash, and we won't give away the ending because I don't have all the yarn yet, but I think I know what I'm going to do. And I have a couple options, and we're going to work on this, and hopefully maybe by next time, if I get all the yarn in and I make some samples, we'll see how my next foray into making this look the way I want it.
Oh.
With what I've got, with what's available, and we'll see how it goes. But, that was kind of my whip that didn't happen. But I have beautiful yarn. Now, the yarn, so wait a minute.
No,
that's the story.
Talk about your yarn.
Okay, so the yarn, I got this, is called, I can't say it, Rewa?
I would say Rewa.
Rewa fibers. And it's gorgeous yarn. And I just got it because it was pretty.
It's very soft, you guys.
Really, I got it because of the right color. Then I turned over the tag when I got home and read it. Rewa means hope in Tibetan. Our profits are dedicated to providing educational sponsorship to children of impoverished Tibetan families, creating opportunity and hope for the future. Learn more about the Rewa story and our community involvement at rewafibers.com. Had no idea when I bought it. Was not the reason I bought it, but it's an amazing story. I love yak down. This is the second yak down I've gotten, and it is absolutely amazing. I would suggest yak down yarn to anyone if you like cashmere, if you like things that are really super soft. They're very warm. It's really super soft, and it's amazing yarn. And I've never heard of this yarn before, but I definitely am going to look them up and see what else they have, because I think it's a great opportunity to support.
Oh, yeah.
So that was completely and totally accidental. And then last time we talked about, for Christmas, my sister-in-law sent me something called Peace Fleece. Had never heard of it before. She sent it to me, beautiful yarn, didn't look it up, just thought it was some nice yarn. Then I got online. And I thought, well, let's, see if I can get more of this. There's a whole story behind this. This gentleman started Peace Fleece in the 70s with wool from Russia and was attempting to do kind of this international peace type work with wool. And he actually imported the first legal Russian wool into the States in the 70s. He then worked with other farmers in the States, and he then ended up working with fleece from Israel, the West Bank, Kyrgyzstan, Ukraine, and Romania, blending it with wool from a cottage farm hill in Ohio and mohair in Texas. So once again, continuing trying to bring international trade and cooperation. So he did that for a while, and then in 2008, his son got involved in a film project with the Lakota and Dakota people. And because he found out their story and the life that they've had and how horribly they have been treated through American history, in 2010, he started working with the South Dakota Cheyenne River Reservation and purchased their first native Rambouillet wool from the Cook Ranch, and has been working with the Navajo Nation in Arizona and New Mexico, making yarn. And they're even going as far as trying to improve the genetics of their flocks, et cetera, and so forth. And it continues to work with the Navajo Nation, spinning wool with meaning and producing lines of worsted and DK weight yarns along with fleece and knitting needles. So they're doing a lot. You know, they first worked internationally for peace work, and now they're working internally with our Native Americans in peace work. So I think that's an incredible story.
That's an awesome story.
So I think we will put links to both of them in the show notes, and I think it'd be worth your while to look them up and see if they have any yarn that you would be interested in purchasing and supporting their projects.
Yeah.
So
what an awesome story. Do you think she knew that when she bought it?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I couldn't tell you that.
That was just awesome.
She, you know, and I talked to her and she says, oh yeah, my gardening supply sells this. So I saw it and I thought you would like some yarn. So she bought it because her gardening supply place sells this yarn. I think all of this has been pretty accidental, and all of this, you know, just kind of landed in my lap. But I really enjoy being able to share these stories and to share the yarn, use the yarn and get other people aware of these projects that our people are doing. To help with peace and to help with international and domestic groups that help support people who need that type of support. So I'm really happy to be able to use this, and I hope to be able to buy some more.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So there you go. All righty. Now we have acquisitions, Amy.
Okay. Well, so here's what had happened. First off, you guys remember I said that next year I'm going on a yarn diet. Legit. I'm going to do this legit. I'm like, this year that has just been whatever I want to do, I do. So I've been buying neutrals, a lot of grays, a lot of whites. I'm probably going to go home today and get some black. And so I need a red skein of sport weight. Those are things I need. So I'm going on a yarn diet next year. So I'm basically like a bear that's hibernating, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to buy any yarn next year. Let me just buy all the yarn this year. And not this year, I mean, now. So Kristin's birthday, she called me up and she said, hey, Amy, I want to go to Black Mountain. And I said, oh, Kristin, yes, let's go to Black Mountain. So we drove up to Black Mountain and the adventure began.
So Amy spoiled me on my birthday. She drove us up there. She fed me breakfast. She brought that along. She brought me lunch.
Did we have Mexican food for lunch?
We did.
That's right.
We did.
Oh, that's right, because we were going to go to the other place, but then the Mexican food restaurant was right there, and you're like, tacos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
of course.
Yeah.
You always have Mexican if that was an option.
Yes. So we had lunch, and then we went to 2 yarn stores because we went to our local yarn store here.
Yes.
And of course I had to buy. I mean, I'm going on a yarn diet next year. I'm
going to have to play her this clip in about 2 months to remind her.
Yes. Hey, Kristin, look, I ordered yarn today. So my first treasure from Black Mountain is Spin Cycle yarns, but this is the Black Mountain colorway, because this is not, I apparently was on a brown kick. And so this is their colorway that they dyed for the store, and so I bought this, and then they have this amazing shawl. that was knit out of, this is Woolfolk Tend. You guys, I can't even tell you how this feels. It's 100% wool, but it feels like cashmere. Like it's so fluffy and and all of their yarn felt like this. So I got this to make a shawl out of, which I haven't even put on my Ravelry queue because I've just been so busy. Isn't that amazing? Guys, when this knits up, it's like felt. Like it's so soft and fluffy and just like cashmere felted.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was amazing. So that's gonna be a shawl, and that's really the only thing that I bought that had pattern specific, and I'm ashamed of that because I got some treasures. So I got some black Malabrigo and the neutral Malabrigo Sport to make a shawl with. A shawl. Actually, I do have a shawl in mind, but I need red. That's what I'm on the hunt for. It's red sport weight for that. And then the slippery slope. Okay, so we're standing there, and I had already put a skein in my little checkout little row of stuff. And Kristin was like, "Oh, I really like that color," and I was like, "Man, I really like that color too." And I already had 2 colors in my cart, and so I just put the 3rd color in my cart. And yeah, you'll see why. So I have 2 skeins of each of these colors. I'm such a little hoarder. It's okay.
They're gorgeous.
Look at the richness of this. This is Sugar Plum Circus, and it's all DK weight.
It's gorgeous.
It's so pretty.
All the colors are so rich.
This teal is like,
oh
my God. Well, that's not really teal. That's green. I don't know colors apparently anymore. This color is so deep and I just love it. And I love the blue. And then these were the colors I was going to get. And then Kristin put the purple in, and I was like, I'm going to get home and go, man, I wish I bought the purple. So I bought the purple. So that's how that happened. And then we went to our local yarn store, and I got just some gray fingering. This is, I can never say, how do you say it? Huasco?
Huasco?
There we go.
I have no idea.
So this is like their kettle dug gray because it's neutral. It'll go with a lot of stuff. And then I got this Knit Smith in Josephine. I love all her colors. I just love the pops of dark purple in there. It's going to be amazing with something. I don't know what. So I got that. And then I got these 2 skeins because I'm obsessed with chunky hats that I never knit. So I thought, why not? So this is Manos, and I love their yarn. And they don't have color names, but we're just going to call them Sunshine and Happiness and Cupcake. Because that's what they remind me of. I just love these. So this is going to be something amazing. Probably a hat. Yeah, that's what we went with. And then I got my Yarn of the Month clubs, which I'm still keeping, by the way, for next year, I've decided.
Because you're not getting any more yarn.
But that doesn't count. I'm already signed up. I didn't buy it this next year. I'll buy it this year.
Oh, so sorry. So sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so that is my evil plan. It's just, I'll just pay for it this year. And then next year, it's like, oh, I didn't buy it. Yeah. This is No Matter What. This is her Freckled Whimsy's December colorway. It is so cute. It's got like this green in it. I love it. That makes me happy. And then this is my Cozy Knitter Club of the Month called Foxy Gentleman. Is that not the cutest? I don't have a lot of boy colorways that I would consider like I could use for a boy. That is amazing. And not colors I would put together. So I just love her. We love you, Christina. Still, after all these years. And then I just bought like all the Madeline Tosh I could get my hands on. So I'm just going to hold that up. Ooh,
Madeline Tosh. Oh, more purple.
More purple. Yeah, this is my favorite Madeline Tosh color. It's called Wino Forever, and it's basically how I live my life. This is Moonstone, just kind of a gray purple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, and then these are all like, this is Antler and Farmhouse White You can kind of see it's a little different. And then this is antique lace, and I like this because it's kind of got like a brown undertone.
Yeah.
So you can see I have like a gray and white, and then I have a tan, and then I went, this is gray owl, which I think is the perfect shade of gray.
It's beautiful.
So yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did, you guys. And I'm gonna order more yarn today because
it's not the first yet.
that's right. I got 5 more days.
So we did go, when we went to Black Mountain, I did get some of the same.
That was such a fun trip.
Oh my.
Uh-oh. Do you have fuzz?
No, I have bug.
Uh-oh.
Bugs are fine as long as nature. So I got some of this Sugar Plum Circus.
Oh, I want this brown.
Also. And those are the ones I got.
This brown, you guys. Amazing.
This is espresso, and this is also their DK Merino DK 100% superwash. So, and then this is the Daphne.
Oh, I didn't even say my color names.
And this is Butterscotch. And this is Mary Jane.
This one is Fred.
Fred.
I'm like, Fred, okay. Forbidden Forest.
But I love those 4 colors together. I don't know that they're going to stay together. I don't know what they're going to do, but they just spoke my name, and they were so rich, and I love jewel tones. So I got those. And then I love fades. I'm just kind of on a fade kick, right? So I got some Emma's yarn.
This one is so pretty.
Yes. Now these 3, this one, and this one, these are all the Drapey DK base, which is 70% merino and 30% silk. So those 3 are the Drapey DK base. And then this is actually a comfy cotton, which I didn't realize till I got in the car, but I love the colors together, and I said, oh, to hell with it, I'm going to keep them. So I love that fade. And I just love Emma's yarn, kind of one of my,
I love her colors are so, this is not a good example, but like her brights are like super bright, and like then you come to this, it's so varied, like the colors that you can find.
I've just really, that was what
It's gonna be
my
so
birthday. So I treated myself.
It's amazing. Oh, and then while we were at Black Mountain, you guys, I said, man, if I ever, when we come back, I'm going to get this yarn. It's the one yarn that I didn't buy that I was like, I wanted. Mostly because I was at a dollar mark that Dr. Cobb was going to have to talk about. But for my for Christmas, Kristin actually got it for me. I'm so excited. This is Moondrake, and it's pink salt, and it's like
gorgeous.
This like tweedy pink coppery kind of color.
Yeah, it's like a dusky rose.
Look at how pretty that looks on me, you guys. So that's gonna be something marvelous.
That is, it's gorgeous yarn.
Thank you, Kristin.
You're welcome.
Also for enabling my bad habit. Because I was like, I'm not going to go to Black Mountain. And then Kristin was like, let's go to Black Mountain. And I was like, let's go to Black Mountain. Okay.
It's not really hard to get us to Black Mountain.
No, it's really not. I was thinking for my birthday, we should go to Black Mountain. I don't know how I'm going to justify that in the yarn diet. Maybe if I set that money aside now. And then that doesn't come out of money for January. That's just money that was in my purse. It doesn't count for the yarn diet. I don't know. I can already see myself breaking the yarn diet. I mean, you guys, like, my whole 2022 goal is to get my stash into Ravelry, which is going to take the whole year. I'm very aware that there's a lot of yarn in that situation. But, like, I have a lot of yarn, and I love, like, every skein in that stash is a skein that I picked up and thought, I love this skein of yarn. Like, I need to knit that skein of yarn. There's not anything that I don't like in there.
So I think that we need to go through your queue on Ravelry and match it up with the skeins that you love.
Yeah.
And Get some of it.
I think that is a good idea. I have like 5,500 projects on my queue, so lot to choose from. But no, like I guess like, you know, you buy yarn and then you forget about it, and then you like find it one day and you're like, this is the prettiest yarn.
It's sort of like, you know, when I went looking for this yarn for this tea house, you know, I went in my stash like, this is really, you know, and you do have some gorgeous stuff in your stash, and you do forget about what's in your stash, you know, very easily.
You do. Like, I want to knit this shawl from the Black Mountain.
Right.
Like, I don't want to put that in my yarn stash because I know that's just going to get lost in it, and I'm going to forget about that shawl. Right. So I'm not even going to put it in there. I'm going to actually put it in a project bag with the pattern and just have it there. So, like, it's already wound. I hate winding yarn, you guys. Like, it's...
I'll bring it to my house.
Okay. Kristin will wind all my yarn. Like, you know, that kind of stuff. I just need to have, like, the next, like, 5 projects planned so I don't, like, forget about it. It's just been... It's rough. Like, it's rough when you're just like, oh, I have this and I have that, and let me just go get it out of the stash because I have all these... It's like a yarn store in there. And I don't mean to complain about my yarn stash, but it is a little, it's overwhelming. Some days it's like, there's a lot in there and I don't even know what I have anymore. Which is why I want to get it in Ravelry. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I think that we have gone through everything.
Oh my gosh, it's the last one of the year, Kristin. What an amazing, like, I'm so glad we did this. Like, 2021 sucked, you guys, but this at least was the positive that came out of it. And I'm glad we're keeping up with it. And
there's been lots of challenges. There's been lots of personal challenges and professional challenges. There's been a lot of knitting challenges. I suck at color work still.
You do not. No, it's just challenging.
So, you know, I think one of the things, you know, we always think of the new year as New Year resolutions or beginnings or things like that. And so I think that it's really important, you know, where we try to do beginnings in other places in our lives. What are the new beginnings you want to do in our hobby? In the thing that makes us happy, in the stress reliever that we choose to do. And what are those things that will help us grow and make us feel good and make us feel accomplished and do good things for us, and not things that are going to be negative. You know, a lot of times the shoulds, the woulds, the couldas, you know, as a friend of mine says, don't should on yourself.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
You know, and I think that it's making sure that we still find joy in what we're doing and not feeling like I have to do what everyone else is doing. You know, there are those patterns that are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful patterns, and you see everyone doing them and you think, oh, I should do that. And it's like, if that makes you happy, do it. But if it doesn't make you happy and you want to make something else, you don't have to do the popular pattern, or you don't have to do the popular yarn. And I think that's one thing that I have fun with in this podcast that we do, or vlog, or whatever the particular correct verbiage is that I keep getting corrected on, is we do a lot of popular stuff, but we do a lot of stuff that isn't popular. And I like doing the stuff that just makes me happy.
Yeah, you know? I agree.
So,
I'm more of and like, I see a lot of those, like, everyone's knitting that, and I'm like, oh, that's really pretty, but not for me. Like,
we live in North Carolina and it's 77 degrees at Christmas time. I'm not making the 12 sweaters, but, you know, I make other things.
As I'm knitting the wool
I picked cotton.
Listen, there were 2 days of this week 2 days of last week I could have worn it. So
I know. Well, you know, that was a thing. So, you know, we try to, you know, wear shawls or bring shawls or wear something that we've done. And you know, a week or so ago, it was cold.
We were both wearing,
And I have 2 hand knit sweaters that I made for myself, and I thought I can get one. I washed it, I blocked it, I was going to, you know, shave it down because it's got the pills on it. I was getting it all ready for this podcast, and then today it was like, it's 77 degrees. I will die of heat exhaustion if I wear that sweater.
Yep.
You know, so that will come out. Hopefully, we will podcast on a cold day.
I'll have to look at the Farmer's Almanac, apparently, because I don't even know, you guys. I am gonna wear. I have like 200 shawls that I've like hand knit.
Uh-huh.
Stupid number. I am gonna try to wear more shawls and scarves at work because my office is cold and I have to go back to work every day. So I'm gonna try to wear more shawls, even if it's 90 degrees.
That's part of my desire for this coming year, is a job in which I don't have to wear a uniform.
Ooh.
So maybe, don't know what's going to happen this coming year, but I want a job where I don't have to wear a uniform and I can wear my pretty hand things, and we get into a place in this world where I can leave the house in pretty clothes, and I'm ready for that again. So part of my
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I don't have a lot of New Year's resolutions other than knitting more, buying less yarn. I'm also going to try to buy less things. It's on my list. Like, I'm gonna have like a no shopping. Not that like my shopping's out of hand, but Amazon has become a crutch, and so I'm gonna try to like buy more local, less Amazon. And the obvious lose weight, which has been my challenge because I was doing great, and then October happened, and it was like, I'm gonna eat whatever I want. So
look, sometimes
I got healthier though, so that's
life.
A plus.
Life happens, and we have to work around life, and we have to adjust as we go along.
So we have to work around.
Talk about it.
I read a thing on Pinterest the other day. Was like Winnie the Pooh wore a crop top and no pants, and he loved his life. You can too. I'm like, I can be Winnie the Pooh. No, Tom and I eat pretty healthy since I had my big health scare, and so it's mostly snacks. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I love me some tacos at the Taco Bell.
But
yeah, and getting back into just getting my knitting mojo that I lost. I feel like I'm getting it. I feel like I needed that whole day not doing laundry, of not worrying about my house being a mess, of not being adult. I sat down and knit and drank eggnog all day and tea. I made a lasagna.
And that's,
that was Christmas.
That's what holidays are for.
It was great. So, I'm pretty excited.
Alrighty, well, we've shared with you some of our hopes and desires for the coming year. We hope that you've got some plans, maybe, things that you want to look forward to in the coming year. We will be back in the new year.
Yes, probably
all
second
sorts of
week
stuff.
of January.
Yeah, something like that.
We'll figure it out. We don't.
Whenever we can get together.
Yes.
We have
and we'll be here with
our new co-host, Data. And Data will be wearing all of our beautiful hand knits. So all nerds and geeks are welcome. Didn't you say your husband was like, yeah, no?
Oh yeah, he hasn't made it upstairs into the craft room yet because Tom's like, he's living in the living room, and I was like, no, he's not. I mean, I'm a nerd girl, married physicist, you guys. Like, I live the Big Bang Theory, but that will not be in my living room. So he can hang out in our bedroom. He can hang out in the upstairs hallway. He cannot stay in the living room. So, but he did. He stayed in front of the Christmas tree. So he's part of our family now.
Yep, he is. So thank you for coming and joining us. Thank you for sticking out with us this long. We look forward to seeing you again. Put some comments. Tell us how it's going. Tell us what your hopes and desires are for the new year. And let us know what you think. Subscribe, like, share with your friends. We look forward to seeing you in 2022.
Yes. Oh my gosh, 2022. Woo!
Bye.
Bye, you guys.